Another episode of the new Twilight Zone, and this series has hit a new low for me. Holy shit, was this episode dumb. This was bad. This was fucking bad. The trailer for next week's episode looked interesting, but man, I don't know. I seriously am just baffled by how bad this episode was tonight. To get someone like John Cho on board too, and just it's so dumb. It feels like it was written by an 11-year-old. So there's an 11-year-old kid played by Jacob Tremblay, and he runs for president. Now I know that this is in the Twilight Zone, right? So we're supposed to throw away everything we know about everything. So all these are taking place in an alternate timeline, reality, whatever, where you don't have to be 35 years of age to run for president. Like, you're not legally allowed to run unless you're 35. So that's, unless I missed it, because I was so just dumbfounded by this episode, unless they addressed that somehow, it doesn't even matter. The episode would still be... That's not my main complaint, trust me. But it was stuff like that was adding to my level of annoyance with this episode. He didn't even have a vice president either. He definitely didn't campaign with one. He didn't have any mention of one. We never were shown one in the entire episode that I'm aware of. So there's John Cho's character, and he is running somebody for president for their second term, and they lose. And he's blamed for it, and his career's ruined, and this and that. And so however many years pass, probably 4 years, because that new president would have to go out, and the new president's going to come in, this kid to run for president. And so he comes a drunk, and this and that. And so he sees that there's this YouTube star who's going to run for president. And all these people at the bar are like, oh, I'd vote for him, and this and that. The kid is running on the campaign of promises like free video games forever, for everybody. Nobody would give a shit about free fucking video games. I mean, I would. But the average American, people are like, yeah, he says it how it is. And he says, I sure like what he says. If you listen to the 10th, he promises 10 things. And if you listen to the 10 things that he promises, they're all super idiotic things that almost no one would give a shit about. Trust me, I get what this episode's trying to say. We had the Black Lives Matter episode. We had another one that, oh shit, what was it last week? Xenophobia. There's like a social commentary on everyone. This is clearly a dig at Donald Trump. Like, I get it. I get what they're going for. But it's so poorly written. It's so ill-conceived that it's insulting. It's not even semi-clever, whether you're a Trump supporter or a Trump hater or whatever you are. That doesn't even apply here, because it's so poorly written and so poorly done that it doesn't really matter one side or the other. We can all laugh at this and be like, well, that wasn't a very good dig at him. You know, as I said, regardless of what side of the fucking fence you are with that. It was just, I mean, I couldn't say one positive thing about this episode. Not one. It's awful. Okay, I don't want to bitch about this episode too much, but I couldn't even believe what I was watching. This is a new low for Twilight Zone. As I said, I've watched every fucking series. I've watched every episode from the original season, or original show, damn it. I've watched some of the 80s, not all of it, and I've watched all of the 2000s version with Forrest Whitaker. And this is the worst episode of the Twilight Zone I've ever seen. That bad. And there were some really bad ones. Maybe I'm forgetting some in the 2000 Forrest Whitaker show, but man, it would be hard pressed. This episode was so fucking dumb. Yet again, another one of those things where the ending comes and it's supposed to be a Twilight Zone ending, and Jordan Peele's supposed to walk out and do his Rod Sterling and his dun 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 Twilight Zone conclusion, big twist, this and that, and it's like, it's the eye roll of eye rolls. It's the none of this shit would ever happen in a million years. I don't care what alternate reality universe it's in. It's not even slightly conceivable. It's not even well executed. It's not well thought out. It feels rushed. It feels dumb. It feels like a jab in a very... I'm just pissed. Not pissed, but fucking annoyed. What a shit episode. And it really has killed almost all my desire to watch anymore. So maybe I just will do just that and drop the show. Because I feel like I'm wasting my fucking time at this point. And you know how much I hate bitching about stuff. I don't like doing this. This is not the kind of reviews. A lot of people seem to really like when I get mad and burn movies to the ground, because a lot of people like that kind of stuff. But I don't. I personally hate it. And this episode, I fucking hate it. So, I don't know. We'll see if I watch next week's episode. I'm really, really unsure of that right now. But other than that, adios.